while writing a book on altruism, itashim. So, well, you know, there's many challenges the world is facing in the 21st century. One of the main challenges is to reconcile 3 time scale. The short term, you know, a poor mother who needs to feed her kids. So that's her main priority for the next week. There's also people try to make a living over a month and over a year. So that's the short term. In the mid-term, everyone wants to flourish in life. You know, it's a basic human right to avoid suffering and have a good life, to fulfill one genuine aspiration over a generation, a lifetime, a family, and a career. So that's the mid-term. And then there's a new challenge, because 10,000 years ago, we were only 5 million people on Earth. So no big deal. We could not do much harm. But now we became 8 billion. So whether we like it or not, we are the main force of transformation of this world. And so far, we are doing quite a lot of damage to biodiversity, to our planet. So we are now responsible of the fate of future generation, which is the long term. And scientists tell us we have a very little time to take drastic measure, so that people in the next generation don't say, you knew, yet you did nothing. So that's a new responsibility for the long term. And scientists tell us what to do, but very few people, especially politicians, follow their advice. So now, suppose we want to build together a better world, and except a few nutcases, everybody wants a better world. So we need to have a round table, those who are concerned of extreme poverty, inequalities in the short term, of having social justice, more equality, good condition in the workplace, in the family, having a good life within this lifetime, and the scientists of the environment who tell us what we need to do for the future generation and for the 8 million other species who are our co-citizens in this world. So if we want to sit together to work for a better world, we need a unifying concept. So selfishness will not do the job. You know, if we say, oh, why should I care for future generation? Because we won't be there. So there's a famous American comic, Groucho Marx. He said, why should I care for future generation? What did they do for me? Of course, nothing. So now, selfishness is not going to do the job. Only one concept is having more consideration for others. That is altruism. If we have more consideration for others, in the short term, we will make sure to remedy to extreme poverty, to bring about social justice. If we are concerned about the midterm, either we will have an economy that is a service of society and not society at the service of economy. We'll make sure that we provide good living conditions for human beings to flourish in life. And if we are concerned by others, if we have consideration for others, then we will make sure that future generations will not suffer because of our craziness. So altruism, consideration for others, care, is the only concept that allows all these people to sit around the table and work together. So now if you want to know more, there's 900 pages, but it's really about that. The need is not just a luxury. It's not an utopic idea. It's a very pragmatic concept that can help us to work together. So please, I'm totally in favor of a peaceful, altruistic revolution. Voila, finished.
wait, 잠깐만.
Now holiday.
Matula, many of the people, they have this question in Korea, which I get a lot, is these crazy times right now and crazy leaders.
Yes.
So, and we get very angry, you know, because of what's going on. So how to deal with that anger and properly channel the anger into something productive and something that's helpful for society? Because in Korea, also the Korean, because of the leadership, many angry people and very frustration.
Yes.
So how to deal with that?
So you see, there's many kinds of so-called anger.
Yes.
You know, Jimmy Kinsler used to say, if you look at the wall from far, it looks very smooth.
Yes.
If you look from close, there are some holes, something, different colors, this and that. So, you know, anger can be motivated by impatience. You know, everybody makes noise, and you blow the fuse. So the antidote is patience, resilience. Now, anger could be motivated by wanting to harm someone. Then the antidote is loving kindness. Now, there is one aspect of anger that is constructive, is indignation. You know, we cannot tolerate the situation that causes a lot of suffering to others. You know, if you see a child being beaten in the street by someone, it's not okay. But, so that indignation sort of wakes up. But we should seize that clarity moment and not fall into animosity. Okay, he's beating the child, I'm going to bash him down. No. We should, indignation causes us to act for the good purpose. So in that sense, you know, this kind of indignation can be mixed with compassion, but never with the wish to harm others. You know, like a doctor, he sees a crazy person, dangerous for others, dangerous for himself. So what he does, he will maybe tie it on the chair to prevent harm. Then he's not going to bash that person's head. He's going to say any way to cure this person. So you say, well, how can I cure, you know, those bloody dictator? You know, they only want to kill so many people. Well, of course, maybe it's difficult to change their mind now, but they didn't come out of nowhere. They came out of a society, of a culture, of an education, of a world vision, and that can change. So compassion and altruism is the wish to remedy to any cause of suffering, whatever shapes it takes. And a dictator is an immense cause of suffering. So we should wish that the cruelty, the hatred, indifference that person's mind may disappear. We may wish that the society that brought us those people in power may change. For that's sort of active compassion. It's not just stupid compassion. So in any case, again, compassion and altruism is the only constructive answer to all that. But does not mean being weak. You know, you don't necessarily have to let them do all those terrible things. But everything has to be done with the idea of remedying to the cause of suffering. And that's at the heart of Buddhism. You know, Jimmy Kinsler Moshe always says, if something, you know, whatever people are called, you know, Kempo, Tulkus, nothing, if they benefit beings, remedy cause of suffering, and help people to change to become better human beings, that's Buddhism. Anything that they may be called or have names or position, if they increase suffering, it's not Buddhism. So in a way, I mean, we should always think that may the causes of suffering and its cause be removed. And you know, all that begins with ignorance. You know, if those people knew, I mean, the consequences of their action, how much suffering they are causing, and if they were fully aware of that, of course they would not do that. So basically we should not lose courage. You know, when people tell me, look at the world, all these wars and everything, what about altruism? I say, you think selfishness will do a better job? Be more selfish? It's like saying, look, there's an epidemic, why do we need doctors and hospital? There's an epidemic. I say, well, you need all the more the hospital and the doctor. So that's why we need all the more altruism and compassion than ever. So that's the thing.